I am making a wind-up deck profile just because of how I have all the cards. I wanted to play wind-up basically since they were released, but never really was able to play them. And I figured, since I have them, might as well make a video. And I will go ahead and start off by saying, this is a fun build, so it's not going to be the best, but if anyone has any suggestions for improvements, I will gladly take them. Starting with the monsters, I play 3 copies of Wind Up Honeybee. Wind Up Honeybee has the effect that when it's destroyed by battle, you can special summon a level. When it's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Wind Up monster from your deck. Then I play 3 copies of Wind Up Bat. Wind Up Bat has the effect that while you can switch it from attack to defense, to then target a Wind Up monster in your graveyard and return to your hand. And like most of the Wind Ups, if not all of them, you can only use this effect once while it's face up on the field. Next, I play 3 copies of Wind Up Snail. Wind Up Snail can target a set card on the field and return it to the hand. And I believe all of the wind-ups, or the rest of the wind-ups and Snail, for the rest of the main deck, are all once while face up on the field. Next, I play 3 copies of Wind Up Rat. Wind Up Rat has the effect that during your main phase, you can target a Wind Up monster in your graveyard, change this card to defense position, and if you do, special summon that target. You special summon and face up defense position. And I just like Rat because oh boy. Yeah, it just lets you be able to recur your level 3s from grave, so you can do rank 3 and or 4 plays, depending on what you summon back. Next, I play 3 copies of Wind Up Dog. Wind Up Dog can can increase its level by 2 and increase its attack by 600 until the end of the turn. This is mainly just here so you can do rank 5 plays. Next, I play 3 copies of Wind Up Rabbit. Wind Up Rabbit has the quick effect. You can target a Wind Up on your field and banish it until your next standby phase, which I honestly like doing by having it use itself, so that every standby phase I can just have a Wind Up Rabbit return to the field. Next, I play 3 copies of Wind Up Hunter. Wind Up Hunter has the effect that, let's see if I can get rid of some of the glare. Wind Up Hunter has the effect that once per turn you contribute one other Wind Up monster you control to then be able to shuffle one card, or send one card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard at random. And again, you can only use this effect of Wind Up Hunter once per turn. What is that? Next, I play 3 copies of Wind Up Magician. Wind Up Magician has the effect that if the effect of a Wind Up monster is activated, except for a Wind Up Magician, you can special summon a level 4 lower Wind Up monster from your deck and face up defense position. Which I honestly kind of like this because you can use Magician to summon another Magician, because its only restriction is that it has to be the effect of a Wind Up other than Magician. And then honestly, my favorite Wind Up monster in the deck is 3 copies of Wind Up Shark. Wind Up Shark has the effect that when a Wind Up is summoned, you can special summon this card from your hand. And then, once while face up on the field, you activate its effect to either increase or decrease its level by 1. So you can use it for a rank 3, 4, or 5 plays. And that's it for the monsters. For the spells, I play 3 copies of Legendary Wind Up Key. Legendary Wind Up Key has the makes so you can change all of your face up Wind Up monsters you control to face down defense position. This basically just is something I like to use for during the end phase of my opponent's turn to flip all my wind-ups face down, so when I flip them face up, they can use their effects once more. Because they can only use their effects once while face up on the field. Next, I play 3 copies of the most important wind-up card, which is Wind Up Factory. Wind Up Factory has the effect that when the effect of a wind-up monster is activated, you can add a wind-up monster from your deck to your hand. And the thing I like about this card is that it's not a hard once per turn. Yeah, that's really fun with older archetypes when they didn't have hard once per turns. So if you have multiple factories in play, you can get multiple searches. Then I play 3 copies of Zen Malfunction. Zen Malfunction has the effect that you can target a wind-up in your graveyard, special summon it from your graveyard and face-up defense, but negate its effects, and it cannot be used for synchro summons. This is basically just an archetype monster reborn that you can use for doing your rank 3 or 4 plays. For the traps, I play 1 copy of Xyz Reborn. This lets you target an Xyz monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and then attach this card to it as material. And then to finish off the deck, I play 3 copies of Zen Maelstrom. Zen Maelstrom lets you tribute a wind-up monster that has 1500 or more attack, special summon a wind-up monster from your hand, then you can special summon another wind-up monster from your deck that have the same attack as this monster attributed by this effect. Oh, my bad. You summon a monster from your hand, and then you can summon a monster from your deck that has the same attack as the monster that was previously summoned. That is it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. For the extra deck, I play 3 copies of Wind Up Zen Maintenance. Wind Up Zen Maintenance has the effect that if it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target a Wind Up Xyz you control, attach this card to it as material. And then you can only use each of its falling effects once per turn. Or if the card's link summoned, you can add a Wind Up card from your deck to your hand. So if you summon it, you can use it to add Wind Up Factory. Just an example. And then you can banish 1 face-up Wind Up monster you control, face down, to then special summon a monster from your deck with the same name as that monster has on the field. So an example, you can activate this card's effect to then banish your Wind Up Magician to summon another Magician from your deck. Let's see. Never mind, that will not work because I thought it targets you where it does not. So anyway, it's still a pretty decent card. Next, I play 3 copies of Wind Up Zen Mains, or Zen Mines, how you prefer to pronounce it. This monster has the effect that if it will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can touch material instead. And then during the end phase, you can destroy cards in your opponent's field up to the number of materials this card lost that turn. Then I play 1 copy of number 60, Dugaris the Timeless. This card has the effect of you can detach 2 materials to then be able to activate 1 of 3 effects, where you can summon a monster from either graveyard but skip your next main phase 1, draw 2 cards and discard 1 but skip your next draw phase, or you can doubly attack a monster you control but skip your next battle phase. And I believe you can only use this effect on number 60, Dugaris the Timeless, once per turn. Next, I play 1 copy of Evil Swarm Exciton Knight. Exciton Knight just has the effect that... well, maybe I need to remember how it works exactly. Army phase, battle phase. Okay. But you can activate its effect during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase. That if your opponent has more cards on their field and in their hand than you do, you can detach the material once per chain, to then be able to destroy every other card on the field. And I think you destroy every other card on the field. However, your opponent takes no damage for the rest of the turn. This is mainly just here because it's a board wipe, as This is just a card I prefer using because of my playstyle of playing any deck. Is I run out of resources quickly, so if I'm going first, this will be a card I make because my opponent's almost guaranteed to have more resources than I do. Next, I play 3 copies of Wind Up Zenmeister, or Maester, which I prefer. This card has the effect that it gains 300 attack for each material attached to it. And then once per turn, you can detach material from this card, then target one face-up monster your opponent controls, change it to face-down defense position. And during the end phase of this turn, change it back to face-up attack position. Make sure I did that correctly. My bad. You target one face-up monster you control. So this just lets you keep using your wind-up monsters by flipping them face down, and then during the end phase they get flipped face up. So you can activate Rabbit's effect during your turn, use this, flip the Rabbit face down, end phase Rabbit switch face back up, and then you can have Rabbit banish another card so that during your standby you'll get 2 monsters back. Next I play 1 copy of number 61 Volcasaurus. Volcasaurus has the effect that once per turn you can detach material, target a face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and then your opponent takes damage equal to that monster's original attack. However, when you use this effect of Volcasaurus, Volcasaurus cannot attack directly. I just like Volcasaurus mainly because of its burn damage. And then finally, I play 3 copies of Wind Up Arsenal Zenmaio. Zenmaio has the effect that once per turn you can detach material, then target 2 set cards on the field and destroy them. I mainly just like this card because it's able to deal with back row. And that is it for my wind-up deck profile. If any ideas what I can do to improve the deck, any ideas of decks like to see being made in the future, or decks like to see face each other, feel free to comment down below. Thank you so much for watching.